that's the reason why they keep saying, well, she stayed, they were in a relationship, she loved him, which means to tell me you're R-wording your wife, you're R-wording your girlfriend. That's all that's telling me. That these men are literally graping and R-wording their wives and their girlfriends. They just assume once you're in a relationship, once you're married, I'm entitled to your body, which is what I keep telling. This is what I keep telling y'all. This is what I keep telling y'all. Once a man marries you, like they literally say, lock you down. What do you think they mean by that? What do you think they mean when they say, I want to lock you down? They literally want to trap you. They don't want to have any option, no say so. And then just like him, they will use force, they will use intimidation, they will use their physicality to put you into fear, so that way you don't say no to anything. And this is the man that you have to live under the same roof as. This is the same man that you have to sleep in the same bed as. This is why, for a lot of women, your biggest threat is the man that you sleep next to every night. Girl, it's not even if the man is rich, because Diddy was rich. And look at what he did with his money. Look at what he did with his money. This is why I'm never going to tell women. This is why I'm never going to tell women to marry rich. I'm never going to tell women to do that. I'm going to tell women, if you can, use their money to make you money. And then, have them make you enough money where you don't even have to think twice about being near a man. In my opinion, that is the best way to do it. Use their money to make you money. That's why J-Lo made the song, My Love Don't Cost a Thing. She made that song because of Diddy. Because essentially what he was trying to do was he was trying to pay her off. He was trying to pay her off in return to allowing him to abuse her. A lot of y'all don't realize that when men use money, there are a lot of men that want to use money to abuse you. They want to use money to do bad things to you. Nothing in life is free. Nothing in life is free. Yes, exactly. Cassie had nothing. That girl only had one album. She was modeling and everything, but he made it so she couldn't do any of he made it so that she couldn't do any of that. He did that on purpose. He didn't allow her to go make albums. He didn't allow her to go make money because he learned from J-Lo. He said, you want to know what? Well, the reason why I couldn't do anything to J-Lo is because J-Lo has her own money. She has her own career to protect. She has her own things to protect. J-Lo gets a really bad rap because of her attitude, but you don't see her in the headlines going through what Cassie's going through. You don't see her in the headlines going through what Halle Bailey is going through. You don't see her in the headlines going through what Rihanna is going through. You don't see J-Lo being a victim to a man once. Because J-Lo understands she's the prize. J-Lo takes pride in how hard she works. J-Lo takes a lot of pride in her career. J-Lo takes a lot of pride in her success. And that's how you're supposed to be. You are supposed to take pride and work hard and earn things. That way no man can ever take something from you. You allow someone to take something from you, and then they look at you. They look at you and say, well, you have this because of me, and when I'm ready, I'll good and well take it, because the only reason why you have it is because of me. You don't ever allow a man to have that much power over you. Yes. So all he did was just learn from his situation with J-Lo, and he said, you want to know what? I need to get someone weaker. I need to get someone that's younger. This is why men are going to say, we don't care about your degrees. We don't care about how much money you're earning. Yeah, the reason why they claim that they don't care is because you have something to protect. You have leverage in the dynamic. Can't no one financially abuse you if you don't need to rely on their finances. This is why I'm always going to preach to women, get money. Get money. Men are very strategic. Diddy said, I will never allow a woman to get over me like that, like how J-Lo did, and I will stop at nothing to make sure that never happens to me again. This is how these men are thinking. This is how strategic they can be. Can we change the world? Girlfriend with chosen victim. Ciao. And so this is the reason why a lot of men, this is why they don't consider the relationship to be ST, to be what he's considering to be ST, because men will use a relationship or a marriage to use that as an excuse to say, well, how can you possibly say no when we're married? Or how can you possibly say no when we are in a relationship? There are a lot of people that will actually weaponize that against you. A lot of people will actually do that and try to say, well, we were in a relationship, so there really is no such thing as... A lot of men believe that there's no such thing as consent as long as they're calling you a girlfriend or as long as they're calling you a wife. Or the fact that you're a wife. A lot of them believe that once they have a title, they don't need your consent anymore because it's through ownership. It is through ownership. That was like the whole reason why marriage was created. It was created through ownership. Get your money from them when you're young, and then use their money to make you money. Do not sit here. And then the thing that's crazy is that the pick-me women are like, well, she was a gold digger and she was getting money and which means that y'all are broke, which means y'all have no money, which means that y'all are willing to endure abuse because y'all are lazy. Y'all are not headstrong. Y'all don't want to accomplish anything. So y'all rather be a prisoner to a man just because he's doing things for you. And that's weak. Only weak women do that. Only weak women want that type of life. And guess what? There are plenty of men out there that are getting money, that are making money just to do that to you. And then when they do that to you, then you're upset. Then you're sad. Then you're pissed off. The reason why Diddy had Carisha and tossed Carisha to the side is because she liked it. It's because she liked it. She was 100% consenting in what it was that they were doing. Men don't like it when you don't like. Men don't like it when you like it. Men don't like it when you like it. That's the reason why he said, I'm bored. She loves these golden showers. She loves these F-offs. She loves all this stuff. I'm bored. A man cannot have power over you when you both are enjoying something. That ruins the whole dynamic for them. They got to make sure that they love it and you hate it. And that's the difference. That's the difference between these three women. Because a lot of women keep comparing, oh, well, Carisha knew. Okay, but this is the part where the men are right. It might be sick to someone, but they consented to that. Choosing to do something that will be sick is not illegal. It's not illegal for someone to give you a golden shower. That's not illegal. That is legal. So if two people are consenting for a golden shower, it is allowed. It is consented until the consent no longer exists. With Cassie, there was a point where the consent was no longer existing. Carisha was 100% consenting to all of that. She liked that. So that's the reason why she didn't say anything. Why would you say something about something that you enjoy doing? So that's why he said, I'm done with her. She likes this. She enjoys this. I'm bored. I can't have the power dynamic. She can't submit to me. I don't get to feel like a god when I'm with her. J-Lo probably also liked it. J-Lo probably also had no issue with it. She probably had no issue with it. It was that club incident. It was that club incident when she said, okay, we're talking about murder charges. We're talking about going down for a firearm. We're talking about, he gave that woman the firearm, meaning that she was signing up to take the fall. Which, and the reason why, and guess what? J-Lo is a narcissist, and guess what? When do you ever hear J-Lo getting played by a man? When do you ever hear about J-Lo getting used by a man? When do you ever hear about J-Lo getting abused, getting embarrassed? You don't ever hear that. You don't ever hear that, because that's what it looks like when you're a woman and you're a narcissist. A woman being a narcissist and a man being a narcissist are completely different. A man being a narcissist will take your life, abuse you, harm you, put you in harm's way. A woman that's a narcissist is just going to be self-protective. Get the fuck away from me. I don't want to talk to you. Leave me alone. Y'all want women, that's the issue. Y'all are too brainwashed. Y'all are still very uncomfortable seeing women put themselves first and say, get the fuck away from me. Y'all are so used to women, okay, even when you're uncomfortable, even when you're annoyed, even when you're pissed off. Men don't do that. Men don't do that. Men don't do that. Men don't sit here through getting tortured and getting annoyed. As soon as they're annoyed, as soon as they're pissed off, they're walking away. They're leaving your ass. They're ignoring your ass. They're ghosting your ass. They're not going to sit here and say, oh, well, okay, I'll go on ahead and I'll just do. No. No, there's not a single female narcissist out here that's losing at life. Y'all want to be sore losers because you're afraid that someone's going to call you a bitch. You're afraid someone's going to call you mean. You're afraid someone's going to call you bitter. You're afraid someone's going to call you angry. Care too much about what other people think about you that you're willing to sacrifice you being uncomfortable just because you want someone to think highly of you. You don't win an award for being a pushover. You don't win an award for not speaking up. You don't win an award for choosing to not protect your energy. You're going to be a doormat. You're going to have people harm you. You're not going to win anything for that. The women that are proud to be seen as a bitch, seen to be difficult, you never hear about these women having these situations. You never hear about them. You can call J-Lo whatever you want to call her. She ain't over here getting abused. She ain't over here getting embarrassed. Because J-Lo gonna put herself first. And she leaving at the very first sign that something does not work out the way that she wants it to work out. Yeah, because I don't have these problems. Even I don't have these problems. I don't have these problems because it's always going to be, get the fuck away from me, quit playing on my phone, the block button, don't touch me. It's always going to be that. It's always going to be that. I'm going to protect my energy at all costs. I don't care who it upsets. I don't care who it angers. I don't care who it pisses off. It will be me. Oh my God, I hate these spammers. I hate these spammers. Yeah, J-Lo has more rings than Kobe, but you ain't never seen J-Lo be dragged by a man. You've never seen J-Lo be embarrassed by a man, because as soon as she sees something that she doesn't like, as soon as the dynamic changes, she's fucking out of there. That's how you gotta be. You have to be willing to leave at the very first sign. And the quicker you pay attention and you look for the first sign, you will understand. You will understand. You want to know what? I'm leaving. out of here. I'm not dealing with this. You have to get to the point in your life where you love yourself so much. You've worked so hard. For a lot of women, you have not invested in yourself enough. You have not invested in yourself enough. When you are a woman and you have not invested in yourself enough, you don't have anything to protect. You don't have anything to protect because you haven't invested into yourself. Why would you care if you have invested money to save money for you to get this beautiful home? You're going to be very protective over who comes to the home, how you can go on ahead and make sure that your home is preserved, make sure your home is clean, because you've invested money into that home. You've invested time into designing that home. You've invested time into decorating that home. You've invested all that. So you are not just going to easily allow any old person to come into your place or treat your place or damage your place and do whatever the fuck it is that they want. Because you've invested into that. You must invest into yourself. That way you are more picky. The women that allow men to walk all over them, women that care about what other people think about them, you have not invested anything into yourself. You have not invested anything in yourself, so you don't care. So guess what? So why would they? Why would they? If you haven't invested the time into yourself to practice self-mastery, to enhance your beauty, to enhance your finances, to enhance your mental, if you haven't done the investment into yourself, why would someone want to invest in you? Why would someone want to treat you good? You don't even know how to treat yourself good. Sorry, y'all. I'm approving the comments because some people are getting on here. Some people are on here getting kind of crazy, so I have to like approve. I'm approving the comments as they come in. Can you recap about the club firearm Diddy J-Lo? So when Diddy and J-Lo were together, they went out to a nightclub and there was a shooting that happened at the nightclub. Before they went to the nightclub, because I've been following this case, you don't understand. I knew Diddy was a horrible person back in the fucking 90s. Me and my mother knew that this man was a horrible person back in the 90s. We have a very active third eye. I can smell a horrible man a mile a fucking way, through a TV screen, through a phone. I have been waiting decades for the demise of this man you don't even understand. He gave J-Lo the firearm before they went into the club. There was a shootout in the club and someone was murdered. Shine, the one that sings that song, shibbly wobbly, shibbly blah, 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 blah. He had to take the fall. Allegedly. He had to take the fall for that. So he served a prison sentence when Diddy was involved. Once he gave J-Lo that firearm, and once J-Lo had to spend a night in jail, she said, fuck this. She said, fuck this. I'm out of here. If someone wants to be a mod that can be on here regularly Monday to Friday at noon, I will add moderators, because the moderators that I usually have, because I was always live streaming here at night, but I only do it through the afternoon. So I can't have moderators, but you got to be willing to get on at the time that I get on, which is Monday to Friday, at around like noon, 12:30, 12:15. I think women believe connection requires attachment, keeps them stuck. Exactly. Because women have been brainwashed. Women have been brainwashed through the patriarchy to attach their worth to proximity to a man. You've been brainwashed. So it's not, so you think that everything in life you have to do, it has to be attached to a man. Oh, if I want to have a baby, I got to have a baby with a man. If I want to have a house, I got to get a house with a man. If I want to go on a vacation, it's got to be with a man. If I want to go, if I want a wedding, if I want a ring, if I want a diamond ring, it's got to be because a man gives it to me. If I want roses, it's got to be because a man can give it to me. Those are all things that you can go do alone. You can do with family. You can do with friends. If you want a diamond ring so bad, why don't you have enough money to go to the store and get a diamond ring? You don't have to worry about begging someone for a ring. You don't have to worry about someone getting you the ring that you don't like. You don't have to worry about them not being able to afford the ring. You want something bigger. You want something nicer. You don't have to worry about any of those problems. You rather make your life harder and beg and bitch and cry and whine and complain and be miserable, be anxious. You rather do all this to hopefully get the result that you're looking for, as opposed to saying, I cut out the middleman. I just go get my own diamond ring. I'll go buy a wedding dress and do a photo shoot with a wedding dress on. I'll throw a party, I'll throw a birthday party, and the theme will be me in a white wedding dress. Like, come on. Come on. You don't have to worry about finding out that he's cheating before the wedding. You don't have to worry about the bachelor party, if he's going to be cheating on you at the bachelor party. You don't have to worry about any of these things. Do you know self-defense? Girl, I have a firearm. I got a firearm. I got weapons. What do you think of male dating coaches? Male dating coaches want nothing more than to take your money as a woman and have you going into circles, lying to you, saying that there's some code to crack, there's some formula to follow, there's some steps to take to find this perfect man that doesn't exist. And essentially, they want to make money off of your ignorance. They want to make money off of your lack of intellect. They want to make money off of your lack of acceptance of male nature. I mean, women dating coaches are no better. Anyone that is going to sell to you how to get your man, how to get married, whenever people want your money for dating advice, they're lying to you. That's why Shira 7 says, I'm not a dating coach. I'm a financial advisor. Because she understands if she starts giving dating advice, it's going to be nothing but miserable women out there. It's going to be nothing but miserable women out there questioning themselves. Why did he ghost me? Why did he break up with me? Why is he cheating on me? Shira telling y'all these men are always going to cheat. They're going to always want to sleep with other women. They're going to always have their head looking. They're going to always be looking at other women. This is who they are. You get your money, you let their money make you money, and then you get the fuck on. It's not rocket science. If they, like she said, if they ain't paying, they ain't staying. It's that simple. If they ain't paying, they ain't staying. The question is, can you pew pew? So one of my exes was a police officer, and he happily admitted that I could shoot better than him. And it's statistically proven that women can shoot better than men. Women have more aim than men. Even the police officer that I dated admitted this. He literally said that they learned it. My 26-year-old is pregnant for the first time. Help me to convince her to get rid of it. Child, tell her she gonna be destitute. She gonna be homeless. Tell her to read one of them Quan Mills book. Tell her, here, daughter, here's a Quan Mills book. My baby daddy is a cockroach. And be like, if you read this book, this what's gonna happen if you have that man's baby. I'm joking, y'all. Go look up Quan Mills. Go look up Quan Mills. Shira is also putting naive young girls in danger. Marrying a man is dangerous. They can essay unalive. Yeah, I worked in S work. This is why I'm never going to tell y'all to marry a rich man. I'm not. I'm not going to tell y'all to marry a rich man. Shira got extremely lucky. Shira got extremely lucky. Her and James probably don't even live together. Honestly, her and James probably don't even live together. And y'all got to remember, at one point they were separated. At one point they were separated and she had her own house. She had her own place she was living in. I highly doubt they even fucking live together. Get their money and go. Get their money, use that money to make you money and get the hell up out of there. Use them for their money until you don't need it anymore. Cause that's what I did. I'm in my late 20s, never had schmecks, but I get attached and emotional. Emotional, girl. Emotional for what? Why are you're getting emotional over dust? You're getting emotional over dust. Every time you get emotional over dust, it's going to increase your risk. It's going to increase your risk of lung cancer. You're increasing your risk of getting COPD. Every time you're emotional in general, every time you're emotional with a man, it's going to get you closer to dying. Just remember that. Just remember, if I give emotions to a man, every emotion I give is going to cut 2 years off my life. And then you'll stop being emotional. Because y'all will be emotional with dust and wonder why y'all can't breathe. Wonder why y'all can't run a mile. And the next thing you know, you need a inhaler. You need to be on a breathing treatment. You got allergies. Cause all that dust was around you, girl. How to not get attached? By understanding that you having an attachment to something means that you're putting something on a pedestal. The only person you should be putting on a pedestal is you. If you cannot put yourself on a pedestal, you need to do the work to put yourself on a pedestal. You should be looking at every single man that you come in contact with and look at them and be like, I'm better than you. I'm more attractive than you. I got more money than you. I'm more wittier than you. I'm smarter than you. I'm more business-minded than you. I have more emotional intelligence than you. You should have yourself on your own pedestal to the point where that's how you look at men. You can't get attached to something that you know that you're better than. And most women are better than men if y'all actually put in the effort into yourself. When you actually put the effort into yourself, you will realize that you're better than most men. When you actually implement self-mastery, when you actually implement self-love, when you actually implement taking time for your beauty, when you actually implement taking time to learn yourself, when you actually implement getting out of your comfort zone, you will realize that these men are not worthy to be attached to. You're going to be attached to dust. And you're going to be on a breathing treatment. I'm telling y'all. I keep telling y'all. Y'all are going to be on a breathing treatment because y'all are getting attached to dust. And if you want to get attached to dust, then let me know. I will mail y'all some Swiffer sweepers. I'll come over. We'll clean the ceiling fan if you need. I'll regularly, we'll Swiffer sweep the place up for you if you want to get attached to the dust. Yeah, and men are one trick ponies. Men are one trick ponies. They are one trick ponies. They are doing the same thing to every woman. They're using the same lines. They're using the same manipulation tactic. I kid you not. As soon as a man starts saying, oh, like, it gets annoying. It gets so annoying. Once you've dealt with men enough and once you start paying attention to what they're doing, like, you should start dealing with men as a psychological experiment, as a social experiment. You should be dealing with men as a social experiment. You literally should be going on a date with the man and saying, okay, what questions is he asking me? How is he framing questions? Is he future faking? Is he selling false dreams? I kid you not, when you approach dating men as a social experiment, you will notice they're all saying the same things, they're all using the same tactics. They are one trick ponies. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it, and you will get annoyed with them. You will be so annoyed with them because it's like as soon as words come out of their mouth to talk to you, you're like, here we go. Here we go. It's just, and then you just realize it's the same thing over and over and over and over. And you just get fucking annoyed. You get repulsed. You're like, is it money or no? It's no money? Okay, get out of my goddamn face then. Because you realize that your energy, your presence, it's precious. It's precious, and they're just selling you dreams. They really don't want to talk about anything. All they want to do is just say, okay, what it is do I have to say? How do I need to make her feel so I could take advantage of her? That's how this goes. Once you start playing the game and doing this socially and understanding, hey, this is actually, oh, the guy from the last date said that too. And now this guy is saying it. And then the next guy is saying it. You start realizing they're one trick ponies. They're all doing the same shit and it's annoying. It's annoying. So then once you do that and you look at it like a social experiment, then guess what? You can do reverse psychology on them. You can weaponize what you've learned about them. The way to play the game to get money from men, the way to play the game to get access to men giving you resources is to learn male nature and weaponize what it is that you know about them. That's what men do with women. Men already know women want love. Women want marriage. So they weaponize against you. The number one thing that men want is lust. Weaponize lust against them. How long should you hold out from them? When the price is right. When the price is right. No, I don't date. God, no, I don't date. Because women will be so quick. How long? How long? Okay, don't you go to work? Don't you go to work? What do you do when you go to work? What do you do when you go to work? You exchange your time for money, right? You exchange your time for money. You get an hourly salary, or or you're salaried and they're expecting for you to work X amount of hours. You exchange your time for money. So if the price ain't right with the time that you're investing, with what you're putting a price on yourself, then you going ahead and you hold out until the price is right. Until you say, I've given you X amount of time. I've given you X amount of time, and for the time that I've given you, this is the price I want. Like I made a video about it. It becomes very easy for you to ask men for money. It becomes very easy for you to use men for money when you don't like them anymore. The reason why a lot of y'all don't know how to play the game, a lot of the reason why y'all are afraid to ask men for money, or you're afraid to accept men for money, or you're afraid to look like the type of woman that wants money, It's because y'all actually like men. When you don't actually enjoy men, when you're annoyed by men, when you actually don't enjoy them as people, it makes it very easy for you to only want to deal with them based off of the pretense of money, because you would never actually go out of your way to want to be adjacent to them. You would never go out of your way to want to talk to them, to want to sleep with them, to want to do anything with them. You would never want to go out of your way unless you're being compensated. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. You got to get to the point where you don't like them for real. Once you get to the point where you don't like them for real, you ain't gonna have... It'll get to the point where you will start asking them just to get them the fuck away from you. They want love still. Okay, then lie and tell them that you love them. Ain't that what they do to women? Tell you that tell y'all that they love you and they don't mean it. Give you compliments. Oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, you're so cute. And then talk shit about your fupa and talk shit about your stretch marks and all this to their homeboys. Just sell them a dream. Oh, I love you. I never met a man like you. Oh. And then my favorite is when you play the game so well. My favorite is when you play the game so well and you get them hooked, and you play stupid and you actually make them believe that you're dumb, and then you're hooked. And then as soon as they don't give you something that you asked for or give you something that you want, you just quit talking to them. You just quit talking to them. Oh, that's my favorite. The satisfaction, the pure satisfaction I get from doing that. The pure satisfaction I get from doing that. Like, yes, you thought I was weak. You thought I was stupid. You thought you thought I was desperate. Ha! Nope. Exactly. Just doing what they do. Exactly. What do they say? All's fair in love and war. All's fair in love and war. Exactly. They're like, oh, I'll take my one trick pony. I take the one trick that I only know, and I'll just use it on the next woman and use it on the next woman and use it on the next woman. That's why they get on the dating apps and they swipe right until they can't swipe anymore. They go out all of their swipes, and then out of all the swipes, they might get 20 likes, and then out of the 20 likes, they might get 5 conversations. And then out of the 5 conversations, they may get 3 dates. They'll just try the same thing on the 3 women that they finally got a date with, and cross their fingers and hope that they're dumb enough for it to work on them. Yes. When you pay close attention to patriarchy, it makes you look at men with disgust. It makes you look at men with disgust because it shows you how much men are lacking. It shows you how much men are lacking, and you cannot respect a man. You cannot respect a man who has been conditioned by men at the beginning of the time to be so empty, to be so voided, to be so self-hating that he has to structure the world to have everything centered around him. Meanwhile, he's hurting everyone around him. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It makes you, honestly, when you first come to the realization, it makes you hate them. It makes you pure hate them. It makes you realize how desperate they are, how they hate themselves, and how they're jealous. Once you understand the patriarchy, you learn about the patriarchy, you dismantle the history of the patriarchy, it will all make sense to you why they're so jealous of women. They had to work extremely hard. They had to think extremely hard to create the structure that they have built now. That was how strongly they felt about women. That was how strongly they felt about the power that women have. I'm not going to respect a man. I'm not going to respect a man that has to be I'm not going to respect a man that has to have a wheelchair ramp throughout life to be seen, to be appreciated, to be wanted. No, because I know it's all fake. Yes, I did this in my own personal life. I did this in my own personal life because I was an S worker. Okay? So obviously when I would deal with other men and I would tell them I was an S worker, before I could even finish the sentence, God, if I was a woman, I would be doing the same thing. I would be doing the same thing. I would be getting these men's money. You know how many men, you want to know how many men I know who they have their girlfriends do OnlyFans so they could be a behind the camera pimp and pimp out their girlfriend? Because all pimps are men that want to be women. They want to pretend like they're women. They want to pretend like they got a punani. Men have admitted to me all the time that if they were a woman, they would be using these men for money. That's why their number one fear with a woman is getting used for money, because that's what they would do. Because they understand the inherent power that we have. That's why I said, you know what their weakness is. Lust is their weakness. Use their weakness and weaponize it against them. Use their weakness and use it to weaponize it against them, because that is what they're doing to you with love. They created love, they created romance, they created Disney movies in order to weaponize it against you. This is why it is imperative that you know and learn male nature. If you are still choosing to deal with men and you do not know male nature, you are going to fail every time with your interactions with men. You are going to be on the losing side with men every single time when you do not know male nature. Men know you better than you know them, because they were given the structure to have everything created to brainwash you for their benefit. Men aren't watching things on how to please a woman. Men aren't watching things on how to please a woman. Men aren't watching things on how to keep their relationship. Men aren't reading books on how to keep their marriage together, how to make their how to make their daughter, their son, how to be a good father. They're not doing any of that. Why don't fathers teach their daughter about male nature? Because if your father taught you about male nature, what do you think you would do? What do you think you would do? You would start side-eyeing your father. You would start side-eyeing your father. I love my father to death. My father has taught me about male nature, and I still side-eye his ass. I still side-eye his ass because he does not treat women good. And my father has money. My father has money. My dad used to sleep with my friends in high school. He never taught me anything. He didn't have to teach you anything. He was showing it to you. He was showing you male nature right there. He was showing you male nature right there. Of course, he's not going to sit down and have a talk with you, because guess what? He's giving you the keys. He's giving you the keys to hold him accountable. If he does those acts and then teaches you about male nature, the first thing you're going to do is ask him, then why are you doing it? If you're teaching me, why are you doing it to women? And then guess what? You're going to go tell the women that he's doing it to. You're going to go F up his punani. You're going to go F up his access to women. Please, can you make exotical content? I'll think about it. My father was a great man to me, but definitely cheated on my mother several times. And this is the thing. This is what my core belief is. A father that cheats on their mother will not advocate for their daughter to stick up for themselves or give them advice if their daughter is getting cheated on. They're not gonna warn you. They're not gonna prepare you. They're not gonna do anything. So this is why I don't give fathers credit for being good to their daughters, but treating their mother like shit. Because essentially, what they did to her, they're going to allow it to happen to you. And I'm living to see it. I'm living to see it. They're not gonna protect you. They're not going to protect that very same thing that they're doing with your mother. They're not going to protect you from it. Because that's who they are. That's who they are. And they got to stay on code. That's who they are. They got to stay on code. They got to protect one another. So your like I really wish y'all would realize this. Fathers will literally sacrifice their daughters just to keep code with a man that they don't know. I want y'all to think about that. They literally will use their daughter as a sacrificial lamb just to keep in code with a man that they do not know. And then when you get the pick me moms, the pick me aunties, oh, Uncle Earl, you can't just ignore Uncle Earl. You just cannot talk to Uncle Earl. Uncle Earl is a part of the family. That happened a long time ago. You should forgive him. Exactly. Fathers are the first ones to hurt us and show us. And we live in such a fucked up world. You got women out here, you got daughters out here carrying the trauma, carrying the guilt, carrying the shame of having daddy issues. How the fuck is it a young girl's issue? How the fuck is it a young girl's fault that she has daddy issues? It's not a child's fault that she has daddy issues. The daddy is the one that caused the issues. The daddy is the one that caused the issues. You have daddy issues. You have daddy issues. Okay, go find her dad then, and take it up with him. It's not her fault. You cannot place the blame on a child. I'm in UK and reported to the feds about evil men. Years later, saw my records from their system and they protected them all. Always. I hate when they want us to say not all men. Exactly. The reason why they're always going to say not all men is men that say not all men are just male pick-me's. That's what I call them. They're just male pick-me's. Pick me, I'm not like that. I'm not like the other guys. I'm a good guy. I don't do that. You're just a male pick-me. You're a male pick-me saying not all men. I'm different. Give me a chance. Give me a chance. Queen, your messages have been so powerful lately. Thank you. I'm only going to be on here for 5 more minutes, y'all. What do you think of pretty men have more pretty privilege than pretty women? I wouldn't say more. I wouldn't say more because at the end of the day, a man could still be a bum and have nothing. A lot of the men that have pretty privilege are not accomplished. So that would mean that he would be equal. That mean that he would just be equal because most of the men that have pretty privilege, most of them don't have much because they just get by on their looks, right? Yeah, exactly. They're broke. They're broke. Men that have pretty privilege are broke. Those are the men that other men are jealous of. So when men say, I had to spend $100 on you to take you out to sleep with you, but that guy didn't have to sleep with you. Yeah, it's because he's more attractive. He has something to leverage that you don't have. He has something to leverage that you don't have. Sorry. Sorry, that's natural selection for you. That's natural selection for you. He has something that you cannot leverage. I don't ever let men shame me into that shit. Oh, well, you let Pookie and Ray, you let this guy hit. He didn't have to pay anything. He looks better than you. He looks better than you. He looks better than you. No one is choosing to sleep with a person that's unattractive. Unless you're a man because they're desperate. And they don't have access to women. They're not the prize. So of course they'll sleep with anything. They'll pay to sleep with anything. Will a man chase you if you never gave up the cookie after removing your presence? If he likes you more, if he likes you a lot, yeah. If he likes you a lot, if he isn't getting presents, if he likes you more, if he likes you a lot, yeah. If he likes you a lot, if he isn't getting attention from women. All right, y'all. I'm off of here. We had a good conversation. I'm definitely uploading this live stream up to YouTube. So if you're not on YouTube, follow me over there, and I'm gonna upload this live stream over on my YouTube channel because this one was really, really good. This is a really good live stream over here today. So follow me on YouTube, Queen Sovereign. My name will come right up. Queen Sovereign. Y'all, it's my name. My name on here is Queen Sovereign. So I'm going to upload this to YouTube. So this will be up on YouTube. And I will see y'all next time. Bye.